Please welcome my good friend, Bo Young.
The title of my chat is The Magic of Being Memorable. What do you think? I came up with that myself. I started with something a little different, a little worse. It was more of the moments of a middle-aged, mediocre man. And nobody was going to come watch that speech. So we're going to leave it with the magic of being memorable. But realistically, the title of the speech is The Consequences of Caring for Your Community. And I'm going to get to that in just a second, okay? I thought I'd give you just a glimpse into me. I have been married for 19 years and 152 days to an incredible woman by the name of Colleen. She completes me. She challenges me. And she also reminded me that absolutely nobody is here to see me, so there's no pressure. We have 3 daughters, okay? 3 daughters, so bear with me on that. I have a senior in high school, a junior in high school, and a 6th grader, a middle schooler. It's amazing to me that we're at that stage. We do have a dog by the name of Wrigley Clarence and a fish named Luna, and I don't take care of that fish, so somebody is. Real quick question, is there any retired cheerleaders in this crowd? And I mean grade school, high school, college. We've got a few. Raise those hands up. Be proud of that. Cheerleaders, right? Well, a little random fact about me too. Yeah. Senior year high school, there was tryouts. There's never been male cheerleaders at my high school. So 2 friends and I decided we're going to try out. One of the guys got cut. It was like the lowest moment of his life. He did not make it, but 2 of us made it. And I looked at that time I had different motives, right? It wasn't about community. Selfishly, I saw 2 guys, 30 women, and the odds were forever in my favor. So I was out there cheering on the football team. Yeah, I wore the uniform, had the megaphone. It was amazing. It doesn't define me, but it is a little part of my story, and it might make me a little more memorable to some people when I share that with them. Are there any runners here? We've got a few. It is the worst, isn't it? It literally is the worst. No, I'm just kidding. I did some running in my day. As a matter of fact, a few years ago, I ran and survived the world's longest relay. True story. Most teams start with 12. They run across Iowa over the course of an entire weekend. Iowa's not flat. We started with 8, finished with 7, and I absolutely don't recommend trying to be an overachiever at a team running event. Just do it like everybody else. It's an accomplishment. Now, moving on to the speech. I was very intentional when I moved to the community I call home. It was no accident that our family moved to Hutchinson. For the first time in my life, I actually wanted to be connected to my community. God put us there for a reason. Let's see what we can do. I've also learned along the way that business, and I've said this before, is much like the game of Tetris. If you fit in, you do disappear. So I wanted to stand out a little bit, and if you're going to stand out, a good way to do that is to make your community better, to plug in. And even if it means getting out of your comfort zone. Now, some know me for the yellow suit. I've worn it here. But before the yellow suit, there was a few other outfits. Hey, there I am. Okay. So I dressed up as Prince once for a local event. I was the only guy that fit the dimensions of that suit. It's true. So they came to me, said, will you wear this? I said, yeah, I'll do that. Prince was an incredible talent and a guy with a personality substantially larger than his inseam. Now, what I lack in talent, particularly in music, I do make up for with unsubstantiated confidence. I also, that's me, I ran a 5K as an Oompa Loompa. Okay? I mean, orange face and all. That's me with my daughter, who actually can't run today. So that's a cool story, cool picture. But that was to raise money for our local school district. Okay? That might be my most authentic moment. I kind of feel like an Oompa Loompa sometimes, but it's also kind of rock bottom. I mean, I ran a 5K as an Oompa Loompa. This one's a little different. That's me in the middle. It's my wife on the right, as you're looking at it, my daughter on the left. A few years ago, I put a video on social media, and I asked for the best challenge that would raise money for local need. The McLeod Alliance for Victims of Domestic Violence put out a pretty good challenge. Matter of fact, there were several amazing challenges, but we selected them. It was suggested by my friend Jill that I would dress up as a woman and walk a mile in her shoes. Now, that's actually a national nonprofit. So I put on a dress, and I walked a mile in our town square while it was sleeting. The temp was around 30 degrees. I'm not sure why I went with the whole sleeveless thing, but I did. That thing fit like a glove. The boots, incredible. Okay? Still have the boots. We raised a couple $1,000s that day. But more importantly, we drew substantial awareness to the cause and the resources that are available to victims. I was surrounded by community members, friends, family, and I would do that again. And it's interesting because I lost some clients because I did that. There were some clients that weren't impressed that as a male I would put on a dress.
Judgmental.
It was unfortunate. I actually had calls at my agency. I have an insurance agency, and they said, if you do this, because there was an article in the paper that said, we're not going to be able to keep our business with you. I said, okay. That's how life goes. My daughters were teased. But your dad's wearing a dress. But it's okay. I would do it all over again. They said it was worth it. So 1 in 3 women are victims of domestic violence. That is a major problem, and it's unacceptable. And I have 3 daughters. If you do the math, it's not good. That doesn't even count my wife. If I can do anything to raise awareness around that problem and raise money, I'm going to do it. I'm in. Woo! There's a whole lot going on that slide. So that's me over there in a more tamed suit, and then there's us again. We were asked by the chamber, my friend Matt and I were asked by the chamber to be the co-host of Let's Make a Deal, our big chamber banquet. The yellow suit was born at that event. Now, full disclosure, I'm a Hawkeye and a Steelers fan. In our community, our high school colors are black and gold. So I looked at, I'm going to get yellow. I can wear this again and again and again. I have no idea why Matt chose to look like Barney, but he did. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I think I made the better decision. And we really were completely unscripted. We had an incredible evening. And that suit literally gives me a superpower to make people smile. If I wear it and I walk down the street to another business and people see me, it's this automatic smile. So I love the suit, but it actually doesn't come out that often. There's me in that suit again. Meet the kindness CEO of Hutchinson. How about that for a title? The kindness CEO. And then it became the CKO, the Chief Kindness Officer, right? My name became synonymous with kindness. And it's a pretty good thing to be a part of. I had joined a national nonprofit called the Kindness Revolution, and the premise is this. You have a bracelet, you catch somebody do something nice, simple manners, you hand them the bracelet right off your wrist, and then you come back and get a new one. And it was kind of a neat thing. Well, I was promoting kindness. It was really appreciated. The newspaper caught it, and they did a story. That's amazing. That's pretty cool exposure. See, the reality is it takes each of us to make a difference for all of us, and basic manners do matter, and it's a good place to start. Because kindness does begin with the understanding that every single one of us struggle. Everybody in here. And we all have a story, and there is pain in each of our stories. And being kind can be a breath of fresh air for those that are struggling. Now, based on all this kindness talk and being likable, you might think I identify as a sheep in the sheep versus lion conversation that seems to be pretty popular right now. But you'd be wrong. I'm more of like the stuffed animal version of a lion, right? With maybe like a snowflake cape. That's more me right now. But the truth is, kindness is strength. And it is. To be able to be kind in a moment when someone's not being all that kind to you is strong. Aha. That's suit again. When I put this together, I literally didn't realize that about every slide has that yellow suit. So this here is an example of what happens when you get plugged in your community in a different way. Anybody here involved in junior achievement? Yeah? Raise your hand. Junior achievement.
Not now, but I have been.
Fabulous. Good for you. Thank you for doing that. I'm on the board, and I'm a volunteer with Junior Achievement, have been for years. Our goal is to inspire and prepare young people to succeed in a global economy, and we all know it's a global economy. Shortages across the world have affected all of us. We also teach financial literacy, and our curriculum is excellent. But I do spread the message of kindness along with the lessons as I teach. So the willingness to donate 5 hours of your time can make a lasting impact on the youth in our communities. Consider it, please. A recent study shows that a third of our teenagers say they need additional emotional support from caring adults this year. Plug in, 5 hours. I get as much or more from the experience as the kids. I even make kids cry. That didn't sound good. I make kids cry. True story, I left my last session one day, and it's right before summer break, and I look back, and this little fella's got his head down, and we had kind of connected, and I find out from the teacher that he had tears coming out. He's like, I'm going to miss that dude. That's impact, right? We all want to have a little impact in the world before we go. I'm also involved in our Chamber Leadership Development Program, our Chamber Ambassadors, and Rotary. Any Rotarians here? Well done. Service above self is our motto, and service, quite frankly, is the rent we pay to live on this planet. If you are not being of service, please consider doing so. Now I'm about to wrap this thing up. Hey, no yellow suit. This is good. So my efforts to promote kindness and my overall activity in the community was noticed, and I was asked to be the commencement speaker at our local community college, Ridgewater. Humbling. I walked in, there was 1,000 people there. One of those speaking moments where everything dries up in your mouth, right? It's tough. And even better, I had to own the fact that I was a college dropout, talking to college graduates. It felt weird, but I did own it. It's a true story. I have 6 siblings, and I'm the only one without a degree to this day. But I'm also the only one that has been a commencement speaker at a college graduation. So chalk one up for the little guy, huh? Yeah. So I'm sharing these moments, and in the bio, like kickoff for this thing, showing that it can matter. Being involved can matter. And the impact we have on others and ourselves, if you can just plug in. I want to know that my time on this planet mattered. We all do. We all matter, and we want to know our time mattered. All of the things I've done have led to favorite insurance agent 3 years in a row. I was Minnesota's first Community Impact Award winner, and I was named Business Person of the Year. Very humbling. And these honors aren't because we pay claims or because we handle billing questions. It's because we're involved. I don't do any of the things I do for recognition, yet it certainly helps me stand out in the marketplace. I do not wonder where my next client's coming from, because I have learned people want to do business with people that are invested in their community. So be invested in your community. And your community is only as good as you make it. Simon Sinek stated that happiness comes and goes and fulfillment lasts. Cool quote. But what creates fulfillment? Well, fulfillment comes from relationships, belonging, and purpose. And I can tell you, if you hit the lottery, you're going to be happy. You're not fulfilled quite yet, but if you help your community be better, fulfillment is inevitable. It's been said that your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card, but the way you make people feel is your trademark, right? And if you're a light for people, if you're a dealer of hope, and you leave others better than you found them, that's a pretty good trademark. Jim Carrey, and I'm not sure which one, said, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is, and I absolutely agree. Yeah, no one's you, and that is your superpower. It's pretty neat that every one of us are here. We're all unique. You do not have to wear a suit that makes you look like a human highlighter to be memorable. You don't. You just have to be you. That's your superpower. Some of the most memorable people in my life are the most soft-spoken. When they speak, people listen. Generally speaking, they are making the conversation about the other party. They also lead by example and focus on others. If you want to be memorable, remind people what makes them remarkable, instead of talking about how remarkable you are. Get out of your own way, show up in your community, share your time, treasure, talents, please, and be inclusive. Stay visible. Champion causes that you're passionate about, and be willing to listen to the opinions of others. Now, Aristotle's credited for this, but from what I'm told, Aristotle did not actually say this. I don't know. But it is the mark of an educated mind to entertain a thought without accepting it. It's okay to listen to viewpoints that are different than yours. After all, we come from different experiences. And I'll close with this. Success is not measured by the amount you gain, but instead by the amount you give. By all means, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the evening.